It's the weekend and you have financial questions that need answering. That can only mean one thing. It's time for Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
Welcome. It's the Jill on Money Show, where we take the mystery out of your financial life. Let's get the program started. We are about to talk to Joy from the Pacific Northwest. And you said it's quite dreary there right now. Is that kind of what happens in the wintertime, sort of dreary?
Yeah, it's just dark and dreary in the lovely part of the country.
But you know what? You're bringing joy to us, and that is so wonderful. What can we do for you?
Well, I'm trying to figure out if I can leave my job early after 25 years working for the state government.
That's a long time for one job. Was it one job, or did you move around and stay in the state government?
I've mostly worked in the state government, did different things, but same agency for the last 25 years.
And you must have an unbelievable pension. So I'm excited by that. So let's go through what's going on. Are you single or married or partnered?
I am married.
Okay. And spouse working, and how old?
He is actually retired. He's a little bit older than I am. And he currently has a pension as well of $7,000.
Wait a minute. How old is he?
He is 65.
And how old are you?
I am about 10 years younger.
55. Nice for you. Okay. So he's got his $7,000 a month pension right now, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And if you were to leave your job, like if you literally gave notice today and your pension started, January 2nd of 2026, how much would you receive?
I would receive just a little over $5,000.
Okay. That's great. So 2 pension checks. Whew.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds really good. How much do you guys spend?
So we currently spend around $12,000 a month, between $10,000 and $12,000. And looking, I think, into retirement, we were looking up about 12, maybe the first couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why not? While you're young and healthy, why not? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're almost covered. I mean, I know your pensions are taxable, so, you won't net your $12,000 a month, but you're pretty close. What else is going on? How about saving did you save in a 403B or a 457 plan? Any retirement assets that you've socked away in addition to those pensions?
Yeah, so we both qualify for Social Security. His is pretty minimal. He's actually he started taking it early. Mm-hmm. So he's getting only about $700. Mm-hmm. And I would be getting at 65 around $3,500, and at 67 about $4,000.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And closer to $5,000 at 70.
Okay, that's great.
So those are those pieces. In terms of what we've saved, I have about $550 in my 401 something.
401A maybe.
I think it is A.
Okay.
Actually, $350 in there, and 457 is about $200,000. And he has about $150 in his. I think it's a 401k, but I'm not certain.
But just so I'm clear about this, all 3 of these accounts, the retirement accounts, right? Those are pre-tax. They're not Roth accounts, right?
They are all pre-tax. I have about $3,000 in a Roth account, but that's very minimal.
What else do you have? You have your tiny Roth of $3,000. What about safe money?
I have a health savings that has about $50,000.
That's good.
I have a brokerage between the two of us of around $100,000. We have savings are around. Let me see. Our checking is around 30, but we have an additional about 50,000 in savings.
Okay. Can I just ask you a dumb question? You ready for my dumb question? You have a whole bunch of money. Why are you even hesitating about retirement? I don't get it. Like, you have all this money. I haven't even gotten through all these questions, but just from what you've told me, okay, $7,000 a month for your husband plus his $700 a month of Social Security. Your pension will be $5,000. $3,500 or $4,000 a month will be coming in the future. I get it for Social Security. You only spend $12,000 a month. You've got a whole bunch of money that is in savings, in retirement savings. You got a whole bunch of money that you've saved in your brokerage account. Are you worried that you can't, or do you actually know that you can and you just need us to give you permission?
I probably need more permission, even though in my mind, when I think about what people my age have, is more in the millions rather than hundreds of thousands.
Yes. However, those people don't have 2 pension checks.
Yeah, you have millions. It's just in the form of pensions.
You have millions. You hearing that? Just wait. Take a breath for a second, Joy. Take a breath, because those 2 pensions, like, just think of it this way. We have, I'm going to give you approximate $12,000 a month coming in our pensions. Okay. And when you think about that and you say, oh, that's like real money, right? That's $144,000 a year. You would have to have, I don't know how much, Mark, $4 million already saved in retirement that would generate $3.5, $4 million that would generate that. So to compare yourself right now to someone else who doesn't have a pension, who has millions, you have millions, you have a guarantee, and your guarantee comes with an extra benefit, which is you don't have to sweat the risk. The risk is borne by your state of employ. Like, the state pension bears the risk. You don't have to worry about if the stock market goes down or up and how to manage that. You're getting these checks no matter what, which is incredible. Okay. So now I'm just saying you're in great shape. You can keep talking now, but I want you to hear that. So let's go to the next step here, which is you have a home that you own. How much is that house worth?
Wow. Okay. First, thank you. The home we live in is about $1 million, or a little more, between 1.1 and 1.3.
I'll say 1.2. Is there a mortgage outstanding on it?
There is about $500,000.
What's the interest rate?
Oh, it's just around 3%.
Oh, and you're going to stay there? Like, when you guys retire, you're going to stay there?
Well, we were thinking of possibly selling that home and bridging the gap with the profits of the sale of the home if we needed to.
Oh my God, you're not going to need to. But do you want to stay there?
Yeah, well, yes, I'd like to, but yeah.
So if I took I just wrote down may sell, but would like to stay, ideally, right?
Yeah,
okay,
I think that's fair.
Okay. You have some rental property, I see, because I'm looking at your email. So I just scanned that quickly. So tell me about the rental property you have.
Well, I have a rental property here in Northwest that is worth about 450, 475, 260 mortgage, also at about 3%. Does it work well for you? Like, is it a pain in the neck, or is it an easy property to maintain for you guys? It's relatively easy to maintain. I'd like to maybe get rid of it eventually, but right now is probably not the best time. It's covering itself.
There's no additional money that comes in for you.
Yeah, there's about $600 additional above mortgage.
Okay, so it's plus $600 a month. Got it. We'll get back to Joy in just a minute. You're listening to the Jill on Money Show.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, where we are trying to help you make better or maybe less bad financial decisions. If you've got a question that is bubbling up, just go to our website, jillonmoney.com. Click the Contact Us button. It's in the upper right-hand corner. When you get that form, give us a lot of information. That's the email we receive. If you don't want to do so much work in the email, then check the box and just tell us you'll come on the program live. It's so much fun when you do that. And that is exactly what Joy did. We are continuing our conversation with her. She's from the Pacific Northwest.
And then we have a couple of rentals down south that are both paid for, and one is a full-time rental. I think we're getting $1,200 for it, and the other one is a VRBO, and it profits about $5,000 a year after all the expenses. So it's really not a lot of money, more to kind of take care of itself.
And that's the second one that's cash flowing $1,200 a month. How much is it worth?
That one is about $475 right now.
And the VRBO one, how much is that worth?
That one is about $350.
You would like to keep both of these properties? Is that something that's important to you? Is that, what do you think?
Well, I would like to keep one because we do like to go down there. I think my husband would prefer to keep both for some reason. I think they're...
You can only stay in one at a time. Doesn't he realize that?
I agree. Yes.
Oh, you know what I forgot to ask you, Joy? When you retire, because you worked for state government, will you be entitled to get health insurance?
No, I will not have health insurance.
So when you said $12,000 a month, did that include health insurance?
Yeah, it did for both of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess I think that what it sounds like is, as soon as you guys pull the trigger and you decide that, you, Joy, are going to retire, you are going to continue to be in a pretty high tax bracket just because of those 2 pension checks and because of the income from the rental property, right? So what are you earning right now, Joy?
Right now I'm at just around 200,000.
So your income plus your husband's pension and the Social Security and the rental income, that it basically puts you in the 24% tax bracket. That's about where you guys are, right?
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm hearing you say is like, hey, we'll sell the house if we have to, but you really would like to stay. So I just need a priority check here. Ideally, if you keep your house, keep both rental properties, and then we maybe use some of your husband's retirement account to help bridge the gap of money that you might need until you claim Social Security. Would you be okay with that? Can we spend some assets down?
Yeah, his account, which has about 150, and then I think, the brokerage, of course, and I don't
think you're going to even need the brokerage, to be honest with you, because if you think about it, let's just work this through a second. You're going to have your pension, his pension, so that's $12,000 a month. I know it's pre-tax, right? You're going to have that, plus you have this $1,200 a month from your rental property. Right? Beyond that, this is before you're not claiming your Social Security. And so I'm looking at this 12, 7, so 13. So you'll have $14,000 pre-tax. Okay. So if you think about it, what you need to fund the difference is just like, what is the net, right? You could take probably, I don't know, let's say it's $30,000 a year out of your husband's $150,000. I think this is going to do it. If we did $30,000 a year out of that, okay, and we then use that to cover whatever your needs are, I think that post-tax, that will do the job for you. I think you'll get your $12,000, okay? And also it's like an extra benefit, which is we're getting this money out of your husband's account while he's still, before minimum required distribution. We don't have to touch your account. We just don't have to, that 530, we don't have to touch it. We do this for 5 years. Now, all of a sudden, you're 60 years old. You'll be able to tap your money for the next group of years before you claim Social Security. Okay. So you'll be able to use your money and do the same thing. Like instead of the $30,000, I know we're not inflating it. We're not putting, we're not applying an inflation rate, but just let's do simple math. So from there, you got your husband's account. Hopefully we get rid of it. It's done. You've spent it down. Then your accounts, the 330 and the 200, from that combination, we do another $30,000 a year or so, or maybe it's 35 at the time or 40. Take the money out then from, your age, say 60 to your age 65 or 67. You pull that money out. Okay. And then the cool thing is that you claim Social Security and kind of you're done. You're all good. Like your numbers should look really good. And you can continue to take money out of your retirement accounts you can let your brokerage account grow. You can, not sell the rental properties if you don't want to. You don't have to sell your house. I think this works for you. I do think, though, that it seems that the two rentals, I don't know. If he wants to keep one, you should see which one is like less of a pain in the neck, because I just think it's going to become more and more annoying to have to, manage these things. So you should figure out like whether it's the one of the, the rental in the Pacific Northwest, whether it's the two southern ones. One of these is probably going to go and you're going to have plenty of money, but you don't need to sell them right now. You can wait. You can just bide your time. So if you say that I want to actually be done, Joy, you can be done. Mark, do you agree with this?
100%. Don't get hung up on what other people have. I mean, you have the pensions, you have all this real estate, which can one day be sold. I mean, you guys are, you're pretty golden.
You are totally golden. Not even pretty golden. You're totally golden. Hey, I forgot to ask you, Joy, do you have kids?
We do have kids. They're all launched.
Okay.
And on their own. There's one that wrapping up college, but she has a fully funded account. And
great. That's great. That's awesome.
I just want to make sure I understand. So my pension doesn't kick in till for 10 years.
Okay. I got it. Okay. I got it. So don't worry about it. That's still fine. So your pension doesn't kick in until age 65.
Right.
Okay. So for 10 years, I get it now. Now that there was a missing piece of information. So that's okay. We can just take out for the first few years. Did you say you're 55 or mid 50s? I need the actual year. Like, how old are you actually?
I am 54.
You're 54. So we need 6 years, 5 years, in 5.5 years. But let's say 6 years where we need to get money out of, we have to cover your needs. You're going to first tap his retirement account. So that's going to need, you're going to need $50,000 a year for that. Okay. And then I see why maybe selling one of the rentals would work. Honestly, pick one. Tell me which one you just think I think you're going to need to sell one of those then. If we don't have that income for 10 years, we are going to need some extra cash. We definitely need some money. Which of the properties, the Northwest rental, the two southern ones, you pick, but one of those is going to have to go.
Okay. That sounds, yeah.
That's right. Okay. I got you now. I misunderstood that. So that's good.
Oh, no, that's great. Because still, I think it all works as I had hoped.
It definitely does.
And this wouldn't require then selling our primary home.
No, don't sell your primary. You want to stay there. Come on.
Thank you.
I don't think you need that. Do you guys have your estate documents done?
Yeah, we do. However, we're just going through it again because things are changing. So we have an appointment with our attorney in 2 weeks.
Okay, good. If you have something going on in your life, maybe the year end is a good time for you to start thinking about your financial life for next year. Get in touch with us. Go to JillOnMoney.com. You're listening to the Jill on Money Show. We'll be right back.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show. If you've got a question, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. Right now, let's take an email. This is from Tammy. The subject is red flags. 2 questions. Can we retire in 2.5 years is number 1. And should we run screaming from a potential financial planner? Because I've got serious qualms. So let's find out about Tammy. She's 63. Husband is 60 right now. Tammy's a do-it-yourselfer. She said, my husband is not remotely interested in looking at their financial life. recently a family member passed away and their funds were handled by a financial planning firm. There is a possible inheritance in the future with monies this company handles. So my husband believes they did well for the family and it would be easier if they just handled our money. Plus, they told him he could retire without a problem. And they did not know our spending needs at the time, so of course he's on board. All right, here's the details. They've got about 29 grand in I bonds. They've got just over $500,000 in pre-tax 401k, 60 in Roth retirement accounts, another 30 in Roth IRAs, 73 in traditional IRAs. They've got a whole slug of money in cash, man, $500,000. And Tammy says, we're obviously pretty conservative, and I've put our retirement funds into basically generally I would call it a balanced portfolio. Low-cost funds. We haven't lost huge amounts when the market's crashed over the last 20 years. The new company has a charge of 1.5% of the assets under management, in addition to the fees associated with the following funds. Okay, I'm not even going to read all these fees because they are funds that have high fees. They're actively managed funds with high fees. Here's the real question. You've given great advice in the past. I'm just trying to figure out whether my misgivings come from not knowing enough or whether I should really be questioning more. Please help. Number one, your husband should basically not, if he's not interested in the financial part of this and you've been running your money and you've been doing such a good job, I don't really see why you would pay this person 1.5% of assets under management. I mean, it's all well and good that he got the answer he wanted. To be clear, you've got a lot of money. And is your husband that interested in like plunking over 15 grand just for a year? Not just, now, but every year? This seems a little bit crazy to me. So I think the warning that you're feeling is basically, well, why would I hire this person? And it's not hard to transfer assets. You give them the name of your account and boom, the money ends up there. So, I mean, if you want a full-time financial planner and that's something that's important to you as well as money management, that's something different. But it sounds to me like you're fine. You're just fine. The only other question that they had, she said, we will need to do COBRA or the Affordable Care Act for a couple of years for me. That'll be a couple $1,000s. Okay, so you'll do that. They're debt-free. They're going to sell their vacation home to add funds to retirement. This seems like a good game plan. I don't see why you would I would not pay the fee just because the people were using the money managers as listed. I didn't mention the name of the firm. You don't need to do that, but I don't think you should. All right. Here we go. Question from Calvin, which is, I'm 3.5 years out from retirement. I'm 58 years old. I'm an educator. I get my full pension in those 3.5 years. It'll be $5,000 a month. And I also have a military pension, $4,000 a month. And I plan to go back to work in another area. No debt. My wife has a pension. She's 4 years younger. He's got 400 grand in a 403B. As well as a 457 in a Roth account. I've maxed out all these accounts. I'm saving $60,000 this school year, and I plan to do this for the next few years. I spend around $5,000 a month. My home will be paid off before I retired. No small children. I do plan to buy my dream car when my house is paid off. Am I missing anything? Are you crazy? You're in great shape. You literally spend no money, and your full pension in 3.5 years is going to be covering most of your expenses, not to mention the military pension. So you're in great shape, man. I wouldn't do a thing different. I'm not even so sure that you have to worry too much about anything else that's going on. I mean, you're in great shape. All right, here's one of these questions I love. Market correction. Steven says, with all the talk about an upcoming market correction, how would you feel about someone moving 3 to 4 years worth of required minimum distributions to a savings account within their registered product and then withdrawing the required money from there in the case of a correction? I think that what you're talking about is like you move 3 to 4 years of RMDs into money market. I mean, I don't know, maybe 2 years. I don't know about 3 to 4 years. I'd need to know more information. And maybe if you're really worried if the market were to correct, maybe that would be a time to do some conversions. But I don't know if you have other money. But I don't know. I get the sense that 2 years would be like as much as I would think. What about you, Mark? You think more than 2 years for RMDs within like basically say, let's do 4 years of RMDs and stick it in the money market in the account.
I mean, I get the logic. It's kind of like us telling people to have cash on hand to be able to weather the downturn. But 3 years, absolute most. I don't think I would go beyond that.
Yeah, it seems like that's a lot. I mean, listen, if you have tons of money and it just makes you feel better, then that's okay too, I guess. That's the other thing. Mike is 60, and he's been a federal worker for more than 23 years. And he took about 45 grand from his thrift savings plan to pay off a significant credit card debt. Was this a bad decision? First of all, don't ask me this after the fact. It's already done. He paid withholding as part of the withdrawal. Well, I still owe a large tax bill for 2025 on the withdrawal. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, if you are a federal employee and you've got the money in there, and, I like the idea of using money that is available to pay down credit card debt, but I don't want to get in the habit of doing this. And I don't know how that credit card debt was actually created and what happened. And, so it's not a terrible idea. The withholding part really depends on what happened this tax year. We don't know that yet. You're listening to the Jill on Money Show, where we take the mystery out of your financial life.
Welcome back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger takes the mystery out of your finances.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, where we are trying to help you prioritize your financial goals and objectives. If you've got a question, go to jillonmoney.com and click the Contact Us button. Here's an email from Steve, who says, I'm so happy I found your program. Here's where my wife and I are. 67 and 66, retired. Our house is paid off, no car or credit card debt. We have grown, self-sufficient children, which is really a milestone, gang, I must say. Next year will be the first year that my business income will stop. Because of the run-up in the stock market, we've got $480,000 in Roths, $100,000 in a single stock, which they inherited recently. In Chevron, as a matter of fact, $1.4 million in IRAs. Our allocation is 70-30, meaning 70 stocks, 30 bonds in the Roths, 60-40 in the IRAs. We both receive Social Security. The total is $5,500 a month. We also have a joint lifetime annuity for $1,300 a month. So that's pretty good, $6,800 a month, right? Our plan is to use these three monies starting next year is based on needing $9,000 a month after tax and the inflation adjusted amount going forward. The plan looks like it will work well on its own. We have $600,000 that we inherited that is sitting in CDs. Steve says, I like having some money in cash and the safety of CDs. It feels like a safe haven in the stock market. Okay, our financial planner says CDs are tax inefficient and is suggesting bonds, specifically tax-free municipal bonds, or maybe keeping a 50-50 mix on this money. He's also suggesting some Roth conversions next year since we have the cash to pay the tax. I think our plan looks good without this extra money. What do you think we should do with $500,000? I think he's saying keep 100,000 in the CDs. You guys have a interesting moment here, which I do agree with your advisor in that you would be able to maybe convert some of this IRA money, this 1.4, Not all of it, I don't think, but, maybe a little bit as after you finish with your income from your business. So next year you start thinking about that. But right now you have this 6,800. You only need to get a little bit more. That 9,000 is your base. So the two ways to think about it is, well, I could convert some of the money that is in the traditional IRA, use some of my cash to do that. It's fine. You could do that. And by the way, you could probably sell that Chevron stock also and beef everything else up. And the other thing is to just pull the money out of the IRA accounts over the next few years. Now, Mark, would you be a converter or pull the money out to live on before the RMDs begin?
I think I would probably just pull it out.
Because you don't want to burn up the cash. You just want to live on the money. I think that's probably right. And so, if you want to do some tax-free munis, that's fine. I don't know what state you live in. It's probably more cash than you need. But on the other hand, I also feel very strongly that you're at a point in your life where having some stability here is a nice thing. And, you can use some of the money in the IRAs, take that money out and, fund your difference. It's like really 30 or 40 grand a year is all you really need. And maybe put some of the money in a brokerage account, but not all of it. Maybe you'd like to, and maybe you're going to feel differently about these CDs that are 4 to 5% right now. If they go down to 2 or 3%, you might feel differently. But I'd have to look at the tax equivalent rate of return for the munis before making a real call on that. Okay, here's a question about I-bonds. Is there a rule of thumb as to when they're a good investment? Yeah, not now. How's that? The problem with I-bonds is your money is locked up. So, Mark, when did we buy I-bonds? Do you remember when that was? It was like a very weird quirk in time where the inflation rate was clearly rising and we were getting a great deal.
Yeah,
was that 2020 or 21?
No, I think it was like 2021.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good thing, right? And
all the rage.
Yeah, I said it once on network television. I never had so many emails in my life. So it depends what the alternative is. If you're saying like, oh, I'm going to buy an I bond versus a corporate bond, or is it I'm going to buy an I bond because I'm worried about inflation ticking up, or is it I'm going to buy an I bond just to sock some cash away? They're not bad. It's just that it's the inflexibility. You're sort of locked into them for 5 years. If you don't want to be locked in, you'd pay 3-month interest penalty. But right now is not like my favorite time to buy an I bond. I think that's what I would say. Okay. This is from Jan, who's 71. His wife is 70. And he says, I've got $1.5 million. So he's got $1.5 million in retirement accounts. And he says, if we withdraw 4% to supplement Social Security, we end up at $9,000 net monthly. The withdrawals coming from my wife's $500,000 account, resulting in my account gaining and her account balance declining. We are not too concerned. We're married 50 years, shared nest egg gaining each year. Should we start shifting withdrawals to my account? Well, the only reason to shift to your account is that you have more money and the required minimum distributions are going to be bigger for yours. So, I would go to who's older first. That's how I would do it. And there's no problem there. And I think otherwise, if you cover it, that's all good. You're listening to the Jill on Money Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Jill on Money Show, where we're trying to help you navigate your financial journey. Sometimes there are so many different ways to get to the place where you hope to arrive. And our job is to not tell you which is the best. It's just to lay out the options for you. Just go to our website, jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us a note, and if you'd like to join us live, check the box. Mark will do everything else. Now, here is an email from Harriet who writes, is there a resource you would recommend for determining whether a home equity loan or a home equity line of credit is the best option for consolidating $75,000 in credit card debt? As of today, I have a pending home equity loan offer with a 10.5% rate. The HELOC, the home equity line of credit offer, has a 5.74% rate for the first 6 months, and then it pops up to 9.63% after that. I'm stuck on which option makes the most sense. Well, Harriet, a lot of this depends on your ability to repay that loan. It sounds like you have a lot of equity in your home. I don't know what the interest rate on your mortgage is, if you even have a mortgage, but let's just put that aside for a second, because that may be another way to look at this situation, which would be to refinance the whole note. Sometimes having that home equity loan that locks you in and makes sure that you pay these things makes a lot of sense. The question I have about the home equity line of credit is, once the 6-month period is up, is the 9.63% locked in? Maybe if it's variable, we're okay with that because it looks like interest rates are kind of heading lower-ish. I say that ish. So what I would love for you to do, Harriet, is to get back in touch with us, come on the air, and maybe we can walk through how you got into this credit card debt and also find out what other resources you might have for paying that debt down. Because, of course, using your home equity is a perfectly legitimate way to do that. Maybe you've got another resource. Maybe you own stocks or bonds in an investment account. Maybe you've got a retirement account against which you could borrow. If you get back in touch with us, we'd love to have you come on the air and we can talk it through. You're listening to the Jill on Money Show. We'll be right back.
It's the weekend, and that can only mean one thing. You're listening to Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
Welcome back. It's hour number 2 of the Jill on Money Show, and we are answering your financial questions. If you've got one, just go to jillonmoney.com. Let's go to Jen, who joins us from the Mid-Atlantic. Hello, Jen. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic. What's going on?
My husband and I are approaching retirement age. Actually, I already retired, and our kids are approaching college age. And I wanted to get some advice on how to allocate the 529 money right now and maybe a few other questions.
So, Jen, how old are you?
57.
And your husband?
He's 55.
And he has not yet retired.
No.
He's still working. He's toiling away. Good. You should enjoy yourself.
Yes.
Okay. And how much does he earn?
Salary, $360.
Okay. And will
bonus,
you make it bonus? Yeah.
$175.
Wow. Is that consistent?
It should be.
I like the little hesitation. Like what I thought I heard you say when you said it should be, what I thought I heard you say between the words was it better be. Okay. So Jen, are you you're retired? Are you entitled to a pension?
No.
Okay. I'm sorry. Sad girl. You got some kids in high school? 1, 2? What did you say?
I have twins in high school.
This is so weird. This is the second call of somebody with twins in high school. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, what money have you socked away for them for college?
We have about 175, 180 per kid.
Oh, that's a lot each. Wow. Okay. In 529s?
In 529s.
Okay. And do you think they're headed to private, public, or what's your guess?
They are either headed to private or out of state public.
Are you feeling like you need a little bit more money? Because like when I know there's a range here. So are we talking about the kind of schools that are like 80 grand a year or 50 grand a year?
From what I can see right now, the kid probably headed to private is somewhere between 80 and 90.
Oh,
And
good Lord.
the kid
It's crazy, man.
I know. And the kid headed to a public is probably 70, 75.
It is really incredible. Like the numbers, I know that I'm being like an oldster when I say like, wow, 350 grand for colleges. Like it's a big number. It really is. I'm sorry.
It's more
for
than a
you
lot of
guys.
people pay for a house.
I know, it's crazy. Do you mind me asking, what year are they? Are they like juniors, senior? Like where are we in the process?
Juniors.
Okay,
So in 18 months,
so
need
18
start
months to
paying
go.
money.
All right. Right now, besides the 529 plans, what other money do you have that you could access to help pay for college?
At some point, we decided that it was more advantageous for us to save in our retirement accounts, since when I will be 59 and a half is
Yeah.
when they will be entering their like second
Okay.
semester of college.
Okay,
And
so
so
let's
we
do that.
decided to like take advantage of tax.
So what do you have in your retirement account, Jen?
I have 1.5, and then I have 36,000 in a 401k that is Rule of 55 eligible,
Okay, and so the 1.5 is all pre-tax?
all pre-tax.
Okay, so here we go. Traditional. Okay, now beyond those two chunks of money, right? Tell me about anything else. Like, what about your husband? I know we're not tapping his account because you married a younger guy, but what does he have saved?
Okay, so for me also, I have 40,000 in a couple of Roths.
Okay,
So my husband, he has $2 million in a 401k,
pre-tax.
pre-tax.
Got it.
330,000 in Roth 401k.
Okay, great.
He has an IRA of 55,000, and he also has something called a 457F
Yep.
that currently has 60,000 in it, but we should be getting like another $60,000 every year ish until he
Wow.
retires.
Look at your husband. He is not allowed to retire. $500,000 man. At the very least, says Jen. He better be making that bonus, Mark. He better. So you got a ton of money socked away. This is great. How about like safe money, boring in the bank kind of money?
See, this is where we missed the boat, I think. We
Mhm.
didn't understand to really put any money away anywhere else.
Okay. All right. That's not, you didn't miss the boat. It's fine. Don't worry. You guys have
So-
saved a ton of money.
Yeah, we have like maybe $50,000 in,
Okay.
in some.
I don't see how you can like say we missed the boat when you've got $3.5 million saved. Truly, you're doing great. You're doing great. Are you going to have any sort of income at all? Are you going to go back and do a little something, something? You're young, you're, rocking and rolling in your life, or you're like, I got to deal with these damn kids until they get ready. Then, or like, what's your view on this?
Yeah, I was working and it was a lot of stress. So now I'm, just trying to get the kids launched into
Okay.
college.
Fair enough.
And then trying to enjoy
Life.
life.
There's nothing wrong with that. How about a house? You got one of those?
Yes.
How much is it worth?
2 million.
Wow. Holy moly. What about a mortgage?
I have a big one of those too.
Okay.
925.
925. And what is the mortgage interest rate?
2 3/4.
Oh my God. Okay. Is your husband like a big time kind of worker bee? Is he like, I'm in it for 10 years? Like what is his view on his own retirement?
62 would be the earliest. He took on a new role recently, and some days he comes home really energized, and some days he comes home saying, "I'm not sure how much longer I can do." Not in the short term, but
Yeah. Like I like 10
retirement
sounds
good.
Yeah, like 10 seems like a long time, many years. And he will not be entitled to a pension, right?
He has a small pension.
Oh.
It's about $33,000 annually with
He's already
100% survivor benefit, no COLA at 62.
all right. Well, it's nice. That's
Not
nice
so
little extra
small.
money. Yeah, exactly. 33 grand a month pre-tax. Fine. And you'll both be able to claim Social Security. How's your health? Both of you healthy, except for the fact that, you're gonna work your poor husband to death.
Yes, we're both
Okay.
healthy.
Okay, great. Any other people that you guys have to take care of besides the twins? Like, do you have parents who are aging, or is anything on your radar that we should be aware of?
I think we're pretty good on
Great.
that front.
So now we're in this situation where, you have all this money coming in. I know you decided to step back and retire, but how are you feeling if you just forgetting about the bonus for a second, that 360 base that he has, can you guys live on that?
We probably could.
If you had to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like right now we spend a lot of money.
Yeah, because these two kids are eating you out of house and home.
Right.
That's why. We'll get back to Jen in just a minute. You're listening to the Jill on Money Show.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, where we are trying to help you make better, sometimes less bad, financial decisions. Let's get back to Jen from the Mid-Atlantic.
When we retire, I think we saved pretty well, and I think we can live pretty well. So
what are you spending now? Like, if you look at your spending today, let's not presume you spend less, but your expenses are what right now?
I wrote down $23,000 a month.
My girl, look at you, spending like a champ. Okay.
The kids are expensive.
Yeah, but you live in a high cost of living area, right? I get all this. People listening to this are freaking out. I just want you to know. Mark, how much are people like 275 grand a year? Like, right?
The hate mail's coming. Trust me, the hate mail's coming.
Okay, but like everybody calm thyself. Okay. So everything just gets bigger. So, all right. In this analysis, if we have him work to 62, right? I guess the question is, like, what portion of your retirement accounts should be used for education? And are you screwing yourself by doing so, right? So, like, if it's 18 months from now, and I don't know, also, I'm a little bit worried, like in the 175 to 180 grand each, because they need it in 18 months. I presume this is invested rather gingerly, like it's not too crazy, or is it like way out there risk wise?
Index funds to the year that they.
Okay, that's good. That's fine.
So, but I was not happy with the rate of return, so I put some money in a longer term, like another 4 years.
Okay, so but you could always fund the difference, right? If the market tanked, let's just pretend this. In 18 months, all of a sudden we're in a bear market. And whatever money you put in for the next 18 months, it doesn't matter. You've got like 150 grand each for these kids. So you know that you're going to basically be able to pay for 2 years, right? And then you're waiting for the markets to come back, right? And help you out on the other side of it. So the question is, if we were to assume that the $1.5 million that's in your traditional, that we are using 300 of it to pay for college, it's really going to be more like 350 because we got to pay tax on it, right? So let's say that we're going to use 350, leaving you with, now you don't have 1.5 million. Now you got 1.15 million. And so the question is, can you do that without messing up your retirement game plan, right? And so, Mark, I want to even be more conservative. Like, let's presume that she's got 1.1 million in her traditional after college, the 401k, the rule of 55 401k, you'll use whatever. And so you'll have a little bit less money. Your husband stays the same with his 2 million of his traditional, 330 of the Roth, 55
yeah,
and
he's
200.
still adding to his.
Right. And so we are going to assume he's going to add to it and he's going to max it out and all that stuff.
And his employer gives a very generous, like 15%
Match?
match.
That's where I'm like, I mean, as I read this and I'm thinking about it, the husband's contributing the max. So I'm assuming he's putting in also the catch up. I mean, why not for a couple of years, just if the employer is putting in 15%, why not just for a couple of years have him stop contributing and use that to fund the gap?
Does he have to put in 15% to get the 15% match?
He has to put in 6% to get a 6% match. And then on top of that, he gets a 9% flat.
So how would you feel if we pulled back on his contribution down to, I know you're like super funding retirement, but what about in these years right now? What if you did pull back to 6%?
Mm-hmm.
What if your cash flow could increase a little bit and you could either help pay for college, but also beef up your savings, because wouldn't be a terrible thing to do that. And then my question mark is that by the time hubby gets to 62, are they going to be able to generate 23 grand a month to cover their expenses? I mean, I know that you're both going to get Social Security. So do you know what your Social Security looks like?
At 70, my husband's would be about 4,800, I think. And mine would be around 2,800.
What do you think, Mark? Can we like jam into the kids' accounts without messing up a retirement at 23 grand a month, which is, again, it's not a small amount of money. And I'm not saying you make a lot of money, but it is still a lot of money and you would stay in your house, right? We're absolutely sure about that.
I'm thinking that we will move out when 75, 80.
But then we got to go somewhere. You think they can do it?
I think if he pulls back right now to help fund the college gap, based on their current assets that they have right now, and he's still going to contribute a little bit, 6%. The employer is still going to be putting in 15%, and they just let it grow. In 7 years, that's going to be able to generate almost $20,000 a year. Plus, he's got that $3,000 a month pension,
right?
Plus Social Security down the line. So that's the way I would do it.
I think I like that idea also because you also have this weird situation. I mean, again, you can also pull that money out of your retirement account at 59 and a half. You can pull some of that money out and start paying tax on it, but you don't have to pull it all out at once, and you can help them with school and you can go through the process. It's almost like if you are more methodical about it, like you reduce his contribution, you pull down money as you need it, but you don't make these big sweeping changes, right? You should be okay. And we also have to kind of see like, well, where are they going to land, right? And I think that if this all works out the way we think, and again, you're going to test it all the time, it should be fine. Okay. It really should be fine. And I'm not even like, I know there's $1 million of equity in your house. Okay. I am not even going to presume you do anything with that. I'm going to presume that $1 million is either going to be, equity that just keeps building up and getting bigger, but I'm not even going to presume a downsize because you'll go somewhere and you're going to spend money. You live in and we don't know where the kids are going to end up. So this is all like, these are all questionable moves that you can make. But I think you guys have done a great job of saving and giving your husband's employer's generosity. By the way, he better hug on to that job as much as possible, right? Don't lose that job. Yeah. But I think you guys can do this. I really do.
So I should just keep the money where it is in the 529s and.
Yep. I think okay. The 529s, I would take the first year of tuition. I would have that in a stable value fund. Okay. That's just me. Okay. Like I would literally take 80 grand in each account and have it in the money market or whatever fixed income fund they have. I would want to know 18 months is like a long time and it's a short time. But if the market craps out within the next 18 months, you're going to be pissed if you don't have that cash on hand for year one.
Yes, I will.
So I think that tells me that it's time to let's take some money off the table. Did a great job. Let's not do more than that. I'm okay with that. And then, if your husband reduces his 401k contribution and that money is available, right? And you build up your savings, you could put it into the 529 because obviously it's more tax efficient to be in there. So let's see how your cash flow looks when you go down to a 6% contribution level for your husband's plan. And let's see where you land. Maybe you won't even have to pull money out in a dramatic fashion from your $1.5 million traditional.
Yeah, I was hoping that we could just, shift the money we were using for their living expenses now to supplement the 529.
Yeah, and then that would be great. And with his extra cash flow, you should be able to do it.
Okay.
Jen, do you have your estate documents done?
They could use an update, but yes.
Let's do an update. And then also, how about life insurance on your husband? Does he have that?
He has employer life insurance, and then we have policy, I think $2 million on him now.
All right. By the way, Mark, he doesn't get that bonus. She's knocking him off. He better make that 175. I heard that. You guys are in great shape. You're listening to the Jill on Money Show. Got a question? Go to JillOnMoney.com.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, where we are trying to take the mystery out of your financial life. Right now, let's talk to Eric from New Jersey.
So for me, I have a couple of questions, and they're a little disparate. The first is I want to complete a home renovation. That renovation is going to cost between $240,000 and $300,000.
Let's agree that it's going to cost $300,000, right?
Yes.
I mean, come on, right? It's like anyone who's ever done a project knows whatever your range is, go high. Okay, renovation of $300,000. Now, just give us a little bit more detail about the house. So, what's the house worth right now?
So the house is worth $850,000, and it's a condominium.
Oh, okay. And is there a mortgage on it?
There isn't.
Oh,
on this house. Yes.
Okay. Oh, I see. Multiple houses. So this is we're gonna spend $300 on our $850,000 condo. That's the number one first part of your question. What's number two?
So number two is that I am eligible for a pension from an institution that I worked at about 15 years ago. No, actually 20 years ago. And it's with the Pension Benefit Guarantee Corporation. And so my question is about when I should take it. If I take it at I'm 65 years old. And if I take it at 66, it's worth $1,356. But if I wait until I'm 76, it's worth $4,592 a month.
Wait, but it's with pension benefit because the company was underfunded and it was taken over?
Yes, it was a hospital and it went out of business. Yeah.
Okay, but you're guaranteed that if you wait until 76, you get this extra $3,000 a month.
Yes. And it grows. It grows starting this year, 10.7%, and then 0.5% each year thereafter.
Wow. So everyone listening, Pension Benefit Guarantee Corporation means that the company, the hospital, the institution cannot pay its obligations, and this other organization kind of comes in, and sometimes, I mean, it's so weird because this is an old employer for you, but sometimes this really does mean that people get much less money than they had been promised. And in Eric's case, it probably is a lower amount at age 66, but if you defer those 10 years, there's a big difference. So, okay, so I got the pension numbers. Okay, what's next on our hit list of Eric's financial questions?
So I want to be able to do the renovations and all of that without needing to go back to work.
All right.
And
yes. You will not. You will not, damn it. Eric, you're retired already, right? So this is you're going to tell us a little bit of a rundown on like what you've saved, please?
Absolutely. So my pre-tax retirement 403B is 2.15 million.
Woo, baby. Okay.
I have Roth assets of 830.
Okay, Roth, great.
I have an HSA of 110.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I have a inherited IRA of 93.
When did you inherit that? Are you subject to getting it out within 10 years?
Yes, I inherited it in 2024.
Okay. Okay, got it.
I have a brokerage account of 275, and in cash I have 70.
I didn't ask you an important question. Are you married, partnered, single? Where are you in the spectrum of relationship?
In the spectrum, I'm single.
Okay. Do you have other property?
Yes, I do. I have an inherited property that is worth $550,000.
Okay.
And but there's a mortgage of $100,000.
Is that being rented now, or are you going to sell it, or what's happening?
I have a family member living in it, and they pay rent, and it's about $2,000 a month.
$2,000 after the expenses, or does the $2,000 cover the mortgage, the property taxes, and the homeowners?
No. The $2,000 is just the contribution, and so I apply it toward the mortgage. The mortgage with taxes is $2,300 a month.
All right, so you're a little bit out of pocket on this, but somebody's living there. It's being taken care of. You're doing
Correct.
A good thing. And what do you think's going to happen? Do you want that family member to be able to buy that house from you, or do you? What do you think?
I mean, if it's possible, but I'd rather sort of keep it in the family. My mother passed away 2 years ago, and last year, and I decided, along with my brothers, and I have 2 siblings, that we would keep it for at least 2 years and then make a decision about what we're going to do. But it's a convenient place for us since that's where we grew up. And, it's good to go back, and I have nieces and nephews there, and great nieces and nephews as well.
Oh, that's good. I mean, that sounds like and maybe as they kind of like are a little more secure in their lives, they can start paying more like market-based rent to cover. So at least you're not out of pocket on it, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, Eric, what is the source of your income right now?
So my income, I receive a monthly payment of, after tax, it's about $7,800.
Wow.
From my pre-tax retirement.
Okay. So, meaning you've set that up, or did you buy an annuity, or what is that just you're taking that yourself?
Correct. I set it up so that they send me a check every month.
Okay.
Pre-tax, it's about $10,500.
Okay. And this covers your need?
Yes. My need is about $8,000 a month.
Okay.
So that, along with the rent that I receive, sort of covers my monthly net.
Okay, that's great. And so what about Social Security? When do you think you'll claim?
You know, I was thinking about waiting until I'm 70 to claim that, and try to, take out some of the pre-tax retirement so that my RMDs aren't as great as they could be when I'm 75. At 67, I would receive a monthly payment of $3,700 rounded, and at 70, about $4,600.
Wow. We'll get back to Eric in just a minute. If you've got a question, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button.
Welcome back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger takes the mystery out of your finances.
Welcome back. It's Jill on Money. Let's get back to Eric from New Jersey. The question, I guess, is when we think about doing this renovation, like, give me the time horizon where the money would have to, like, let's say you had plans in place, you want to do the work. First of all, are you living in a big, huge project that's going to cost $300,000? You have to move into the inherited house.
I'm going to move into the inherited house.
Okay. So you're going to move out. And so this
Yes.
would be for next year, right?
Yes.
Are you thinking that maybe you would take some brokerage, or are you going to pull it all out from the retirement account? Like, where do you think you want to kind of take the money from?
I thought about this for a couple of years. So last year, I took out probably $150,000 to sort of, I thought I'd take out $100,000 a year and then bank the cash. But I took some of that and I put it into the brokerage account. So that $100,000 that I took out last year is in the brokerage. And then my thinking was, how much can I take out this year?
Yeah.
Maybe another $100,000.
Yes.
And then split it between this year and next year. So
correct.
That
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Of what I need.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. That we want to spread it out, that, we kind of get this done in the next couple of months. Then you have your $300,000 that's sitting there. And, obviously you have to spend the money. So you don't want to have it like invested in high risk stuff. If the money in the brokerage account is like all stocks, like I hit it big, I did my brokerage, but like now we got to settle down. Right. And don't forget, you also have, we also have that inherited IRA. We got to get that money out before you start claiming Social Security. We want that money out also, because there's a clock on that one, right? So I think that's a great game plan. And I don't think you have to go back to work. Mark, does Eric have to go back to work? He does not want to go back to work.
Almost certainly no. I mean, the other question, I'm not so crazy about taking the money out of the retirement account and then putting it in a brokerage. I feel like you're kind of paying tax twice that way. I would maybe just let it sit in cash. But the other thing is the timing of the pension, right?
Yeah.
How long does he wait?
So the pension, is there any risk? I mean, once the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation comes into the picture, there's no further risk. The risk has already happened, right? That the company the hospital went broke. Is that right?
That's my thought. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, I'd wait if I could. And you have longevity? Do your parents both live long lives?
Yes. Yeah. My mother passed away at 88. Yeah. And my father at 78. So, and I'm in fairly good health. So I think, I'll just sort of see what happens.
I'll tell you what I would say. I would wait and see. I would also be like, maybe when you're 70, right, and you're claiming Social Security, maybe that's the moment where you're like, hey, what's my pension right now? Let's say it's, we know it's more than $1,300. We know it's not as much as $4,500. But, if it were $3,500 and you had $4,600 from your Social Security and life was good, you might like pull the trigger and just do it and make your cash flow much easier on yourself. That could be a possibility as well. But like, I think that we'll have more information at that time. Waiting is always great. But also, if you're just like, because you have so much money, because you're in such good shape, if you just say, I really would like the convenience of having some cash flow right now, that's fine too. I mean, one of the other things that you can start to do is, again, once you get to be 70 and a half, if you're charitable at all, you could use qualified charitable distributions and start whittling down that pre-tax money. So there are a lot of things that are available to you. You don't have to go back to work. You can do the renovation. And I think the pension, I would certainly wait till 70 and kind of see where things stand and see if you're comfortable. And I feel like this could be almost like an emotional decision where you could say, it would make me feel better to not have to take, these monthly distributions from the retirement account. Instead, putting money from that retirement account and sending it off to charity. So all of these things can, I think, play a role, but you're in such good shape. I mean, it's really amazing. What are you doing with it feels like you've got kind of a rich life. Are you doing something fun as you've in retirement? I feel like we're kind of often confronted with people who are like, I just don't know what to do with myself. How are you doing with that?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm
really
still trying to figure out on a day-to-day basis exactly what I'm going to do in the future. I think about traveling. I collect art. I think about visiting museums and sort of enriching my eye and continue to collect art. And I think about volunteering as well. So I'm trying to figure that out right now.
All right. Well, when did you actually retire?
So I didn't actually retire. I was sort of riffed out of the job 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was ripped out of a job. I was decided to live out the severance. And then my mother took ill and she was diagnosed with a terminal disease. And then I stayed with her for the 6 months that she lived and decided that I wouldn't go back to work immediately. So I just sort of eased my way into this retirement because I never expected to retire. I expected to work as long as my mother worked. And she,
of course.
She was 83, so I didn't expect it. So, but it was a blessing in the sense that I could spend full time with her after.
Oh, that's good.
Reduction in force. So.
Yeah, I never feel like happy when it's someone else's decision. On the other hand, you're right. What a gift. So, Eric, I think you're in really great shape. You have your estate documents done yourself. Like, you have a lot of money. Someone's going to, certainly be very happy that you've taken care of this. So, have you?
Yes. So I've been listening to you, and I've engaged an attorney, a trusted estates attorney.
Great.
So we're in the middle of getting those documents done.
Great. You are listening to the Jill on Money Show. Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show, where we are trying to answer your financial questions. I know it's coming to the end of the year. That may raise a lot of issues for you as you consider what happens next year. Maybe you're really just trying to figure out how to prioritize all the different things going on in your life. If that's the case, get in touch with us. Go to our website, jillonmoney.com. Click the Contact Us button, write us a note, and if you'd like to join us live, just check the box. Hey, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter, which comes out every Friday, a wonderful way to warm up for this show. So let's conclude the program with an email from Joseph, who writes, I turned 73 in March. Over the years, I used various accounts for my IRAs and my 403Bs rather than consolidating them into one account. Is there a website where I can verify that I am identifying all of my IRA and 403B accounts so that I am withdrawing the proper required minimum distributions from all of my accounts and not omitting any? Well, Joseph, I don't know if there's a single website. I would really use this opportunity, though, to consolidate all of these retirement accounts into one account, which makes it so much easier to manage the process of required minimum distributions. So, I guess that you could potentially look through your files and see if you can find statements. I also think that in addition to managing the RMD process, just managing the accounts and the allocation is a lot easier when you have one master account with all of these funds in one place. So that's my 2 cents. I hope that helps. And if anyone else has a question about required minimum distributions or anything else, feel free to go to our website, jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and write us a note. You can check out all the content that we produce every single week on that website, jillonmoney.com. We've got 2 podcasts. We've got the blog. We have videos. We've got resources. And, of course, the free weekly newsletter. Thanks so much for listening. Our music is composed by Joel Goodman. Mark Talercio is our executive producer and king of all things web. We ask every week that you try to lift someone up. Good juju in the universe. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. We'll talk to you next week.